This conference will now be recorded.
So guys, today I'm going to start a new topic. The topic name is SQL Azure. SQL Azure, or in simple words, you can say database, cloud database. Now, before moving ahead, I'm going to create the architecture. Suppose you people are working in any company, ABCD. This is your on-premise environment. If you're from database background, or you're from developer background, or in some of the cases people are working as a admin or DVM, they are maintaining under on-premise environment. They people are maintaining databases. Maybe you people are using SQL, PSQL, MySQL, Oracle, DB2, or something else. Whatever the databases you can think that is available in market, all the databases are available in Azure Cloud Computing also. Again repeating, initially I told you guys, cloud computing is not related to server, it's not related to network, it's not related to identity, it's not related to security. Cloud computing is just concept. As per the concept of cloud computing, it is going to provide your on-premise type of computing services over the internet. Means whatever is available under IT industry, whatever the ecosystem, whatever the resources you can provision under on-premise environment, that you can provision in cloud computing also. So here in on-premise environment, suppose I'm running some databases. You can see here, suppose this is my SQL database. This is my SQL database. Maybe you are using Oracle, PSQL, MySQL, or anything else. In case you people are planning to move this SQL database from on-premise to cloud computing, that is possible. The second case is, suppose you don't want to move this in cloud computing. What you are planning, you want to prepare a new database directly in cloud computing. So if you're planning to prepare a database in cloud computing, we have two options available here. In case you people are planning to work with the database, you are planning to create a database in cloud computing, you have two options available. The option number one, you can create a platform. Again repeating, you can create a platform, and the platform for the SQL server. This comes under the PaaS model. The second option is you can create a network. See here I can create a network, and under that I can create a DB machine. I can create a server for DB, database server. Again repeating, what I can do, here I have two options available. The option number one, I can create a platform for the SQL server. This is called the SQL PaaS. This is called the SQL PaaS. This is just browser based platform. At the second platform, you can create SQL on Azure VM. SQL on Azure VM. Azure VM. So these two type platforms available. Okay. Again, repeating guys, whatever you can see on the left side, that is your on-premise environment. Under on-premise environment, suppose as of now we people are using multiple databases. In case you are using the SQL server, and this SQL server you are planning to migrate from on-premise to cloud computing, that is possible. This is one case. The second case, if you don't want to migrate your existing database from on-premise to cloud computing, you are planning to create a new database from scratch in cloud, that is also possible. So here in cloud computing we have two type of platforms available. The first type of platform is called the SQL Azure on VM. This comes under the PaaS model. So this is Azure, or yeah, already described. One second. So guys, here we have two versions of the SQL Server available. First is called the SQL PaaS, and the second is called the SQL AS. Again repeating, here we have the two platforms available for the SQL Server in Microsoft Azure Cloud Computing. The first platform is called the SQL PaaS. The second platform is called the SQL AS. Now, whenever I'm saying there are two platforms available, people are asking what's the difference between these two? What's the difference between SQL PaaS and SQL AS? So guys, the first one is your SQL Server on Platform as a Service, SQL as IaaS, and the second is SQL PaaS. SQL PaaS. So guys, if you're going to go with the SQL as, what you have to do, you have to create a VM, you have to deploy, you have to create or provision or deploy. So here we need to set up SQL on Azure VM. Means here you have to create your entire infrastructure. You people have to set up your entire infrastructure. Without infrastructure, you cannot prepare it. And if I'm talking about the SQL PaaS, this is a browser-based website, browser-based SQL Server. Okay. Second, you can here you people will get a multiple version. Here you people will get multiple version of the SQL. But here, for example, in case you are looking for SQL 2008, 2012, 2017, 18, 19, whatever you're looking for, that will be available. But here we have as it's a browser-based platform, we don't have the version. We don't have the version. Whatever is available, that is just platform. That is platform, not any particular installation. Here Microsoft will install. Here Microsoft will install, or you people have to install Microsoft, or you have to install. You have to set up SQL, and this is just a platform. Here, this is just a platform. It is just a platform. Here, in case in SQL Server, in case you are trying to implement SSIS, SSAS, SSRS, that is possible. But here it's not possible. Here it's not possible. In case you are planning to schedule a job, so here SQL agent is available. SQL agent is available for job scheduling, for job. While you cannot schedule any job, you cannot schedule any job here. Here it's not available. It's not available. Means in case you are planning to schedule any job that's not available, you have to, I mean, that is possible using different service, but not using the SQL Server. You have to use any other service. Okay, now in case you're looking for commercial application, if you're looking for enterprise application, suppose you're working with any big project, maybe it's a CRM, maybe it's an e-commerce application or something else, and over there you are looking for lots of feature or rich feature of the SQL Server. If you're looking for the rich features of the latest feature of the SQL Server, then I would suggest you guys to go with the SQL Server Infrastructure as a Service. The region here, all the commercial features are available. All the features that is available in enterprise versions are available here in Infrastructure Service. So here, enterprise, dev to enterprise, all the versions, or I can say commercially, in case you are looking for enterprise application, or you can go with the SQL Infrastructure Service if you are working in enterprise application. But here you can say this is the lighter version of the SQL Server. This is lighter version of the SQL Server. So these are some of the differences between SQL as and SQL PaaS. Again, repeating guys, today's topic is SQL Server, Azure SQL Server or SQL Server. In case you people are using under on-premise environment, in case you people are using any SQL Server, you people are planning to migrate this from on-premise to cloud computing, that is possible. The second case is if you are not planning to migrate, you are planning to create a new database in SQL Server, that is available. So here, if you're planning in Azure Cloud Computing, you're planning to create a SQL Server. We have two platforms available. One SQL Server, one version of SQL Server available on PaaS, and the second version of the SQL Server is available on Azure VM. I'm going to cover both. I'm going to show you both, guys. Now, I think recording already going on. Okay. So first, what I'm doing, I'm going to log into the portal, and here I have to create a resource group, guys. Here I have to create a Okay, one second, guys. Any question from anyone?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
You told there is two flavor that is coming with the Azure. That is one is in the PaaS platform, and the second one is the IaaS PaaS platform, right?
Correct.
And with with Dynamic 365, we are having the SQL Server. So which means it is in the PaaS or it is in the IaaS?
You have to show me if your SQL Server is available on Azure VM. That will be Azure. The second option, Azure on SQL VM, SQL on Azure VM. If your SQL Server is running on a browser, that will be SQL PaaS.
No, it came with the Dynamic 365. They have provided. Then what?
So no, but in Dynamics 365 they are providing, but where exactly it is deployed?
It is deployed in Azure. It is not on the on-premises.
No, in Azure where it is deployed in
Okay.
Azure, you have to check where exactly it's deployed. It's deployed on PaaS or on infra.
Okay. I will let you
Clear?
know. I will let you know.
Yeah. Now I'm going to show you both. So guys, first I'm going to show you how you can provision a SQL Server on Azure VM. Then I'll show you the same on infra on platform. So quickly I'm going to remove some of the resources already available. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm going to create a SQL Server. I'm not going to follow thorough implementation. The reason it will take time. So what I'm doing quickly, I'm going to create a SQL on Azure VM. So in case you're planning to create a SQL on Azure VM, either click here on virtual machine, or you can click here. Anywhere you can click. Suppose I'm planning to go with the SQL Server, so SQL databases. So either you click here or you can search here SQL Server. It's a searching internally in marketplace. It's a searching your SQL Server. So see here we have the lots of versions of the SQL Server available. Okay, either you people follow these here. So which first you can decide, you have to decide which one, sorry for the guys. You have to decide which version of the SQL Server you're looking for. You are looking for the SQL Server 2012, you are looking for SQL Server 2008, you are looking for 17, you are looking for the SQL Server on Ubuntu, you are looking for the SQL Server analysis services, you are looking for SQL Server 2017 on Ubuntu. There are lots of versions available. You can see here SQL Server for reporting services, SQL Server 2017 reporting services, 2019 reporting services, 2019 on Ubuntu. See here, 2017 on Windows Server, 2019 operating system, 2017 on Windows Server 2000. There are lots of versions available. Whatever the version you like most, you can go with that. Suppose I'm planning to go with this one. So here, if I'm planning to go with this, so here Microsoft is providing SQL Server 2017 image on Windows Server 2016. Now, if you're planning, here you can select. Again, you can select, you are looking for SQL Server 2017 web, standard, enterprise, whatever. Suppose I'm saying I'll go with the standard. I'm planning to go with the standard. See here, click here. Here I'm going to click. Now either over there or here you can select. See here, I have selected SQL Server standard on Windows Server 2016. Now what you can do, you can start the provisioning. Now I have this subscription. I'm going to create a new resource group on the fly. SQL Azure. Okay. Now click on OK button. Now you can pass, you can create, you can give the name for your SQL VM. Suppose my VM name is SQL VM. Okay. Where you are planning to create? Suppose I'm planning to create in ECS. Okay. Now, are you planning to create a one VM or you are planning to create multiple SQL VM? Suppose as of now I'm going to create one, but in case you are looking for high HA mode, then you can go with the availability zone. Now, here I'm going with this image. Windows SQL Server 2017 standard on Windows Server 2016, generation 1. Now, here you can select what size you're looking for. So recommendation, you can see, if you see the recommendation is for the SQL Server, they are offering higher configuration, or they are recommending to go with a higher configuration. Suppose I'm going with the first option where Microsoft will provide 8 vCPU and 56 GB memory. So again, this type of machine monthly Microsoft is going to charge 35,000 Indian rupees. Now, the username for the server. Remember here they will ask two username and password. First username and password they will ask for the VM, and the second username and password they will ask for SQL Server. Now, here the username I'm going to create Dev India at 1 2 3 4 5. India at 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Now, I'm not going to attach any. Okay, see here. In case you want to get the hybrid benefit, Microsoft will give you up to 49% discount. I'm not going to attach any extra disk. Now here, you need a network. Without network, you cannot create any machine. So here on the fly, I'm going to create a network. Okay. Now, everything I'm going to keep as it is. Okay, I'm not going to make more changes. Now here, auto shutdown is scheduled for 7 p.m. I'm going to keep as it is. And in case you want to install any extensions like Datadogs, PowerShell or something, you can install. I'm going to ignore that part. And now here you have to configure your SQL Server. So guys, for the SQL Server, Microsoft is providing three type of connectivity. Again, repeating here, Microsoft is providing three type of connectivity for the SQL Server. One is the local connectivity, second is the private connectivity, and the third is the public connectivity. So the local connectivity or first connectivity, you can go if your SQL Server and application and database, if both are available on the same machine, then you can go with the local connectivity. Again repeating, if your database and application both are deployed on the same VM, then you can, or you're planning to deploy SQL Server and database on the same VM, then you can go with the local connectivity. So outside access of your SQL Server will not be possible. In the first case, outside access of your SQL Server will not be possible. Means in case you want to take the remote desktop, sorry, in case you want to access the SQL from your machine, it will not be possible. Second is, if second you can go with the private connection, you can go if your SQL Server and database both are available on the same network. Suppose you are going to create a network, Amex VNet. In the Amex VNet, you are going to create one application server and the second database server. Then you can go with the private connection. Here in this case also, you cannot connect SQL Server from your VM. In case you want to connect, you have to connect within the network, not outside the network. The third type of connectivity is called the public connectivity. Means in case you want to access your SQL from anywhere across the globe, then you can go with the public connectivity that you can access through internet. As most of you know, SQL Server is by default running on port number 1433, which is enabled here. Now, what type of authentication you are planning? Are you planning to go with the Windows authentication or SQL authentication? So by default, that is the Windows authentication. I'm going to make it, SQL Server authentication. Now the username, I'm going to use the same Dev India at the rate 1234556, what I last used for the VM. Same I'm going to use here. In case you want to pass any other name, that you can. Now second here, if you're going to use, if you already have purchased SQL license under on-premise environment, if you people already have purchased the SQL license, you want to reuse the same license here, that is possible. In this case, Microsoft will give you up to 43% licensing discount. Means they will give you certain discount in licensing part. Next part is here patching. When you are planning to do the patching, so here by default Microsoft is suggesting to go during the weekend and night timing. So here we have, I mean, anytime daily, if you want to go the daily, Monday, Sunday, or what day? Suppose I'm planning to go with the Sunday, that is the weekend. Now, if your people are planning for the automated patching, I would say you guys to go with the night timing, night weekend. So 0 means midnight 12 a.m. 1 means 1 or 60 means 1 a.m. 2 means 2 a.m. Now schedule it. Now, automated backup. Are you planning to take the backup of your system automated way? If yes, you can enable. Second question here, this VM you are planning, or this server you people are planning for the analytics purpose, for machine learning AI purpose also. If you are planning for the AI purpose, then you can enable the R. R is one of the programming language for the data scientist. One of the programming, or you can say scripting language, not programming, one of the scripting language that normally data scientists are used. If you are working as a data scientist, or you are planning to work as a data scientist, or this circle server you are planning to expose for the data scientist also, then you can enable the R services. By default, I'm not going to enable. Now, finally, I'm going to provision this. One thing here, guys, normally whenever I'm going to create any machine, is taking max to max 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. You people seen as of now it was normally it was taking 1 to 2 minutes, but if you are going to create the SQL server, it will take up to 10 minutes. My question goes to everyone: why is taking too much time if you're going to create SQL server? Guys, if you're going to create a normal machine, it will take max to max 2 minutes, but if you're going to create the SQL server, it will take up to 10 minutes. Why? Anyone have any idea?
I think it's store the data in table format. Just
No.
to create the tables and
Top of
everything.
the operating system, it is going to install SQL database.
Who's you're 100% right. Ganesh, you're
Ganesh.
100% right. Yeah, Ganesh, you're 100% right. The region here, Microsoft is going to perform multiple operations. First, they will create the basic infrastructure. Means they will create a network, they will create the subnetwork, they will create IP address, network security group, availability set, disk, and other resources. They will create. On top of that, they will create the operating system. On top of operating system, once it machine is being ready, then they are going to set up the SQL server. And during in all these operations, it will take up to 10 minutes. Means first they will set up the VM, network VM. On top of that VM, they will set up the SQL server. That will take some time. It will take up to 10 minutes. In between, the provisioning is going on. We can proceed with the SQL patch. So guys, here provisioning is going on. We can't wait for 10 more minutes. So what I'm doing, I'm going to show you the SQL server on patch. So for the SQL server on patch, what I told you, if you're planning to go with the SQL server on Azure VM, so here, you have to, I mean, you'll get this SQL server on Azure server. But in case you are planning to go with the SQL patch, you will not get any server. You cannot take the remote desktop. It's a lighter version of the SQL server with not all the features. It's not, you cannot use the same for the enterprise application. In case you are planning to use this SQL server for the mobile application, for the lighter application, for the small application, then you can go with the SQL on Azure PaaS. So see here, in this case, first you have to set up a server. You can see here, I have a SQL server. I'm going to set up my SQL server, create a SQL server. Now, here what I can do, I can pass the server name. Suppose the server name I'm going to pass is SQL server or Jaguar server or Jaguar DB server. Okay, this is my Jaguar DB server. Sorry for the disturbance, guys. So this is my Jaguar DB server. Now I'm going to provision in East United States. Now scroll down, and here for this we need a server, SQL Server Azure, admin account. So here admin name I'm going to pass as a dev. Password I'm going to pass India at 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Repeat password INDIA at 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Next. Here Microsoft is providing Defender. That will prevent your data from the cyber attack. In case you are going to avail, you people have to pay lump sum 1000 rupees, which is 991 rupees per month. So one more thing is here Microsoft is not charging anything for the server. If you're going to create a server in PaaS, that is free. There's no additional charges. So here Microsoft is charging. In case of infrastructure, Microsoft is charging for the server. Here you people have to pay for the server. Whatever the size of server you're going to create, you people have to pay. But here you people have to pay for database, pay for DBs. If you're going to create 5 database, you people have to pay 5 times, and servers are free. Guys, is it clear or not? So here
Yes.
in PaaS, server is free, but database is paid. If you are going to get 5 database, you people have to pay 5 times. Here server is paid, but if you are going to create 1, 2, 10, 20 database, they are not going to charge anything for the database. So my server is ready. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to create the database on top of this server. So here, click on the SQL database. Now I'm going to create the SQL server. Now I'm planning to provision under this resource group. Okay, database name I'm going to pass is Jaguar DB, and server. Server you can see. Oh, sorry guys. Under RG resource group I have created the server, so I can use this also under RG. Now this is my database name. This is my server name. So this database I'm going to attach under this server that I already have created. Now, okay. So here, how much you people have to pay, that you can decide. Here, Microsoft is providing, they are charging some amount against the CPU. Earlier, they were charging against the computation, but nowadays they are charging against the CPU. So if you're going to use 2 CPU, they will charge lump sum 15,000 rupees. If you're going to use a 4 CPU, they will charge 30,000 rupees. If you're going to use 10 CPU, they will charge too much. Or if you're planning to go with the 8 CPU, they will charge monthly. Microsoft will charge 60,000 rupees. So here, which one is cheaper? SQL on Azure VM is cheaper. This will be cheaper. Commercially, this is economical. The first one is economical, and this is costly. So guys, if you're going to create a database, if you're going to create one database with the 8 CPU and 32 GB maximum size storage, then how much they are going to charge? 60,000 rupees per month. Suppose I'm planning to go with the lower configuration, which is 2 CPU and 32 GB. Then how much they are going to charge? 15,000 rupees per month, only for 2 CPU. Now I'm going to click on apply button. Now, are you planning to access, or you are planning to control within particular network? If yes, then you can control here, or later also you can provision. Okay. Now, are you going to use the blank database? So here blank database, or you have the backup. If you have any backup, you can reuse. So here is going to check. We don't have any backup, no backup available. So if you're going to select the none, it will create with a blank. It will create a blank database. If you have any backup available, you can reuse. Or if you are planning to go with a sample database, that is also possible. So here Microsoft will create a sample Adventure Works LT database. And now here, whatever the Defender I was talking about, in case you want to subscribe the Defender, you people have to initial 1 month it's a free, but after that you people have to pay. Suppose I'm planning to go with, for the timing as it's the free, we can go with. No, see here, 15,286 rupees per month for one database with the basic configuration. You can see 2 CPU is not big amount. It's a very small configuration, but for 2 CPU we are paying 15,000 rupees. Hope it will be clear to all of you. Whatever so far we have discussed, is it clear to all of you or not?
Yeah, Atul.
Okay.
Atul, just one question. When you create a database, you show the option as a backup, right? So if we are planning to migrate a database from on-prem to cloud, we can use that as a data and we can restore it, right?
No. That both are the different. In case, see, few notes. 1 second. So guys, here notes. You cannot use on-prem DB backup in Azure VM. Sorry, Azure PaaS or SQL Azure. Okay, while you can use it in SQL on Azure VM. Means if you have any backup, what if you're going to take any backup under on-premise environment, same backup you want to use in cloud computing on Azure VM, over there you can restore, but here same backup you cannot restore in Azure PaaS. Reason here, format is totally different. It's a totally different format. This is one of the notes that you people have to keep in your mind. Clear, guys? Now,
Yeah, thanks, Atul.
here I have this dashboard that I can delete. My dashboard. So this is DB, this is server. Now I'm going to pin my VM also. This is VM. So guys, I have two databases available. This is SQL Server on Azure VM. This is SQL Server, SQL database on a platform. Now, if you want to take the remote desktop, here you can take the remote desktop. Here, remote desktop is possible. But here, remote desktop is not possible. Okay, now I'm going to show you. First, I'm going to show you the SQL Server on Azure VM. You can see property wise it's almost the same, as whatever you people already done. Now, in case you're planning to take the remote desktop, see here, I'm going to control through a DP. Now here, I'm going to pass the username Dev, password India at 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. See guys, I can take the remote desktop. This is one of the VM that I deployed here. On top of the VM, I have provisioned my SQL database. If I'm going to create 1, 2, 20, 30, 40 database on top of the same VM, Microsoft is not going to charge against the database. Whatever they are charging against the VM. Again repeating, whatever Microsoft is charging here for this particular VM, hourly charges will be $50, 50 rupees. So if I'm going to see per day, it's not small amounts. More than 1,000 rupees every day. More than 1,000 rupees Microsoft is going to charge every day, but here the configuration of this server is very high. It's a 56 GB RAM and certain CPU. I think 8 or 16 CPU I have attached. And now it's a good configuration machine. It's a good configuration machine. Now I'm going to show you the SQL Server. I'm going to type here SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. So by default, you can see on top of this VM, Microsoft installed the SQL Server 2017. SQL Server 2017 already installed, set up by Microsoft. Few more features. In terms of the security, if I talk about the security, so SQL Server is more secure. SQL Server PaaS is more secure. So here it's more secure. It's a secure, or I can try more secure. More secure as it's a PaaS and controlled by Microsoft. And controlled, or I can say managed by Microsoft. And here security will be your responsibility. In this case, security will be your responsibility. DB and VM security will be your responsibility. See guys, this is one of the other difference. Now, where is my VM? You can see here, this is my VM. So here we have used the username as a dev, password as a INDIA at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So guys, now in case you're going to create, see here, this is my SQL Server. If you are planning to create one database or you're planning to create multiple database, that is possible. So here, database name is guess or test, whatever the database name you want to. I mean, it's a very similar like the on-premise DB. It's 100% similar like the on-premise DB. Here's on top of the same VM. In case you want to use the same for the SSIS, SSRS, SSAS for the database or for something else, other purpose also, that is possible. Now, suppose this is my guess, and here I'm planning to create some table. Okay. Or I can pass the name as a employee EMPLOY. Yeah. ID, name, and age. Now I'm planning to insert some record. insert into employee values. In case you want to insert multiple times, you just insert multiple times. I inserted. Now, if I'm going to use it, select star from table name, and see here, I have inserted these records. Okay, it's a very similar how developers or DB or database developers are working under on-premise environment. Now, in case you want to use this, in case you want to access, again, in case you people want to access this database under on-premise environment, so how you can access it? See here. So this is my IP. This is my IP. What I have to do? I'm going to access my. Here, this is my local SQL server. You can see this is my local SQL server. I'm going to connect. Now I have to pass the username dev. Password is India INDIA at 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. See guys, it's a publicly accessible. If you remember connectivity in connectivity, I selected public. Public means anyone can access across the globe. If you're from Nigeria, you're from New Zealand, or you're from Australia, from anywhere you people can access, and whatever the database I have created here, that you can access locally also. This is my local machine. See guys, this is my local machine. Now first time I'm going to connect my SQL database that I deployed on Azure VM. So here I created two databases, guess and test. Both I can access. Under guess I have created a table. Name of my table is employee. You can see here that is available here. It's a very similar. It's a very similar how people are working under real time under on-premise environment. Is it clear to all of you or not, guys?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I'm talking about the SQL pass. So first, SQL pass, you cannot take the remote desktop. Here, I cannot take the remote desktop of my SQL server. In case you want to connect this SQL server locally, that is possible. What I can do, I can click on this server, and here, if you are planning to connect, so okay, what I can do, I'm going to click on the database. Here they will give me the server name. The server name is Jaguar DB server.database.windows.net. This is the browser based. This is one of the browser based database. Now, what I can do, if you are planning to connect this locally, so here I can pass server name, something like this. Username word dev, password word India INDIA at 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Click on connect button. Here I'll get an error. Everyone please see the error and let me know why it's not allowing me. Guys, why I'm not able to access? By default it will not allow you to access from anywhere. In case you want to allow the access, what you can do, just select your database. Here you have option set firewall. Click on the set firewall and add your local IP address. What I'm doing, I'm going to add my local IP address. After that, it will allow you to access. Remember, after that, it will allow you to access. Now, what I'm doing, I'm going to try again. See guys, now see here, this time allowed. So here I have two data SQL available. This is, you can see this is SQL on Azure VM. This is SQL on browser, or this is also called the managed SQL or SQL pass. This is managed SQL, managed SQL or SQL on pass. Here, in case you are planning to schedule the job, you can see here we don't have the user agent. In the first one, Here you can schedule the job. The reason you have the SQL Server agent. Now, if you're planning to implement the SSIS, SSRS job, is not possible here. SQL agent is not available. If SQL agent not available, you cannot schedule the job. Is it clear to all of you or not, Taksir?
Yeah, it's very clear. One thing, one doubt I'm having regarding the one option it is there, na, is store the in the past backup. So what backup it is taking? If we are not able to store the backup, if we will not able to select the database backup of on premises.
If you are planning to take the backup, if you have the backup of SQL VM, sorry, you here in case you are planning to restore or you are planning to take the backup, so you come in here pass to pass restoration and backup is possible. As to pass restoration is not possible. Means any backup that you already took from the pass, that is possible, but as to pass is not possible.
Okay.
You're getting my point or not?
I got
Pass to
it.
pass is possible, but as to pass is not. Hybrid solution, hybrid restoration is not possible.
Okay, that's fine. Now it's clear.
Okay. Now, in case you want to create the copy, that is possible. But again, if I'm going to create the copy or I'm going to create the replica of the same database, Microsoft will charge again. The reason they are charging against the database, not against the server. So see here, server, SQL DB. Okay, this is the source. And what new database name or copy database name you want to plan. Suppose I'm going to use as a SQL copy. Now again, you people have to pay. See here, what configurations for this database you are looking for. See here, same amount you people have to pay again. Clear, guys? Same amount you people have to pay again. Means last time I paid 15,000 rupees for the first database Jaguar DB, and for the Jaguar under DB underscore copy again we people have to pay 15,000. Means total we people have to pay 30,000 rupees per month. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Now here I want to take a break of 1 minute. Okay. Let me get some water, then I can start. So guys, for the time being, I'm going to stop the recording just for a minute. I'm coming back with a glass of water. So recording, I'm going to stop now.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So guys, hope you can hear me. Taksir?
Yes, sir.
Taksir. Okay. Now, see, this is my server. Now, under this server, if you see how many databases you have two databases available. SQL, and what I told you, this is the browser-based database. Here, this is same command, same SQL command you can type here. It will support, but this is the browser-based. That's why it's called the managed SQL or SQL Server or SQL Pass. This is also called the SQL Pass. Managed SQL or SQL Pass. It's a browser-based database. Now we have two databases available on top of the one VM, one server. So server is one, but databases are two. Both databases are online, and this is the configuration of your database. As of now, I haven't deleted anything. Now, again, I'm returning back to the database. This is my database. If you want to, this is where exactly you can copy. Now, in case you want to export this database, whatever the database you have, in case you want to store, so you need a storage account. Without storage account, you cannot store. So you can see here, this database name is Jaguar DB, and today's date. I'm going to export. So in case you are going to store where you are planning, suppose I have a container that I'm going to create, DB or Jaguar Jaguar DB, that I'm going to make it private. Okay, now select. Okay, password I'm going to pass as India at 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. See guys, in case you want to export, again repeating, In case you want to export this database, that is possible. So where exactly we exported? We exported the same export operation for Jaguar accepted. Browse SQL Server. Import export history. In case you want to see the progress, you can check the progress from the history also. Guys, is it clear to all of you or not? See guys, here you can track the progress. Export operation is going on. What it will do, it is just asynchronous process, guys. It's an asynchronous process. You people have to submit your request. Your request will take some, it will take some time. The process will execute in background. It will take some time to complete. Once it is going to complete, in case you want to monitor, you can monitor from here. See, progress 1% completed. Status is running. Export database operation and database name is Jaguar DB. Hope it will be clear to all of you guys so far. I'm again returning back to here. Now, so these are the common. In case you want to see here, in this case, if you want to connect, if you want to write your query through the SQL Server Management Studio that you already have installed on your local machine, that is possible. If you don't have the SQL Server installed on your local machine, you want to execute your code, you want to write your script, that is available. Here by default, Microsoft provided a editor that you can use. Earlier, Microsoft were using the Silverlight. I remember up to 2014, Microsoft was using the Silverlight. This editor was developed by Microsoft in Silverlight, but nowadays Silverlight is not supported by Microsoft. All this Microsoft product, but now it's retired, already retired. Now, later on, Microsoft used HTML5. Nowadays, what they're using, I also don't know. And since last 10 years, this is under preview. Guys, not 10 years, since last 7 years, this is under preview. Still it's not stable. This is, Microsoft could not decide since last 7 years which technology they are going to use. Sometimes they are using one technology, later on they're not getting good feedback from the markets. Again, they are trying to upgrade it. Since last 7 years, this is in preview. Now, India at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So here, if you want to write the same query here, that is possible. Just go and write. See here. Same query will be supported by the system. See here. Now, see guys, same way. If you want to write your query here, that is possible. You can write your query. It will support procedure, functions, trigger, views, schema, table, everything. Whatever the query you people are writing in SQL on-premise, that is supported by SQL PaaS also. Clear, guys? And nowadays, Microsoft is trying to integrate the Power platform. Nowadays, Microsoft is trying to integrate the Power platform with the SQL DB, but under preview. That's it. You were asking about this one today morning, correct?
Yeah, correct.
They are trying to integrate. Now, configuration. So guys, anytime, suppose as of now, the configuration of our database is lower. We are we are working with the 2 CPU. Suppose in real-time situation, our database is not performing well. The performance of the database is not so good. In case you want to increase the performance of your database, that is possible. What you can do, you can change the configuration from here. If you're going to increase the capacity of the environment, you people have to pay more. Again repeating guys, if you're going to change, if you're going to upgrade, you people have to pay. It's not free of cost. You people have to pay. One more feature is the replication. Here geo replication is possible. GRS replication is possible, means if I'm working in United States or my database is deployed in United States, what I want just for the security purpose, just for the backup purpose, what I want to create the replica of the same database in different zone, different location, same location or different location, that is possible. So here replication is possible. GRS, here is the following: GRS, geo redundant storage, and geo replication is possible. Here my primary location is ECS. What I'm planning to create the replica of my same database in Central VS. If you are planning, so see here, Central VS, database name in Central VS will be Jaguar DB. This will be read only. Here you can read your data, but you cannot write data. Here in Central US also, you people have to create a server. As of now, in Central United States, I haven't created any SQL server. So now I have to create a server. Without server, you cannot create a database. Now, server name is a replication server. Jaguar replica server. Okay. Server username also I'm going to pass dev India at 123456. Confirm password. India at 123456. See guys, same charges, they will charge again. 15,000, and for the replica also they are going to charge 15,000. That's why I said here the first one, SQL Server infrastructure is economical. Here you people have to pay more amount. See guys, replication I'm going to start. I will give you an assignment, guys. You people have to complete it, and that you can show me tomorrow. Okay. And this replication is asynchronous. This is asynchronous replication. It's going on. See here. So started. Just wait for a minute. This is our server. Now, as of now, I haven't deleted anything. See here, as of now, I haven't deleted anything. I have two databases available. This is the secondary database. In case you're planning to delete, you click on delete button. Now you have to pass the database name, which is Jaguar DB underscore copy. Remove and OK. Clear, guys? Guys, so far so good.
Yeah, clear.
In case you want to get the connection string, so see here, this is the connection string for the .NET. If you are from Microsoft development background, you want to get the connection string for that. See here, click here, go and click on the connection string. So this is the connection string for the Microsoft technology, for JDBC connection, ODBC connection, Golang connection, and many others. See here. Sorry, it's a server. I will redirect it to the server. Golang, PHP, ODBC, JDBC, and this is the Golang. See here, this is the code for the Golang, PHP connection code, ODBC connection code, JDBC connection code, and .NET related, ADO.NET connection code. In case you want to download the respective drivers, that is also available. You can download and install. In case you want to integrate the same with any programming language. Now, it's under process. Let it complete, it will take some time. In return, I'm returning back to here. These are the common things. Now, see here, this is Jaguar DB backup. Now, SQL databases, as of now, I have one. And this database I have deleted. So whatever database you are going to delete, that will reflect in the deleted database. Now, in case you want to check what were the operation you executed, what is the progress, you can see that is running 1% still. Completion time, I mean, it will take some time, guys. It will take few hours to complete. I don't know what's the current time in United States, but it will complete 19th of December 2020 for 9 p.m. So I think it's the morning time. United States is the morning 10:30 or 11:30. It will take 6 hours. Says it will take 6 hours to export from this browser to that particular platform, whatever you have selected. Clear, guys? Guys, now failover. How many of you know what is failover? How many of you know what is failover? Database failover.
From
Moving
if primary
from primary to
is down,
secondary.
automatically it will go to failover to
Correct.
secondary.
Correct, correct. So in case you want to keep your system in HA mode, you want to implement the failover, that is also possible. Suppose my database name is Jaguar DB, Jaguar or JGU Jaguar DB failover. Now here you can select the secondary server, whatever the server you are looking for, and now it will be manual or automated. And grace period, I mean, in failover, there will be grace period of 1 hour. And now I have to select my database, whatever the database you want to register under it. Now, what will happen in case primary server is going fail? Remember, if primary server is going fail, then your connection will switch. I mean, you people will get the response from the secondary one. Here you have two databases available. If one connection, one server is one environment is not operational, then you people will get the response from the second one. Now, in between, let me check the progress. Okay, this is completed. See here, now Geo application is also integrated. Here you can see failover is completed. Geo application is also implemented. So now if primary instance is going fail, immediately you people will get the response from the secondary instance. If both instances are going fail, then you have the backup copy available in different location. On different server, different location. In this condition also your data will synchronize. It will asynchronously synchronize your data. Your data will move from one location to second location asynchronously. In case you want to check okay the constant string, and now this is just assignment for you guys. So here what you have to do, you have to create a two database. You have to create a two database and you have to implement the synchronization. It's very simple. In case you want to follow, I can give you a clue. This website you can follow to implement. One second. SQL DB sync. Okay, you can follow this website. Okay, one second. No. See guys, you can follow this blog. Here I'm going to share on chat window. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to follow this blog and create a POC, and if possible, then show me tomorrow. Guys, if possible, then please show it me tomorrow. Now, here, this platform sometimes is very powerful also. Here, if any query is, if in your database, if any query is taking too much memory, the system will inform you. The database or whatever the platform Microsoft is providing, this particular platform is so much capable, it will provide you the exact issue, what exactly the problem is. So after certain interval, Microsoft is scanning your database. Whatever the query you people have rewritten, the query is being analyzed by Microsoft through automation, and whatever the result is getting, after that they are exposing the result also. Now, in case you want to create the ticket, if you're facing any issue related to the database, you select your service and raise a ticket. This go to Microsoft, and Microsoft will redirect to their vendors. This is the health, resource health. Every day, Microsoft will check the health of your system once in a day, and after that, they will give you this type of alert that, yeah, this is the health. Today's health is available. Similarly, every day they will trigger one time. This is the export template. In case you want to use the same for the automation, you can use Matrix, and this is for mainly for the monitoring that we discussed last Saturday. If you remember, last Saturday we discussed, in case you want to monitor, in case you want to monitor your database, you want to monitor your server, you want to monitor your website or something else, that is possible. So it's the same. It's the same, not new. It's a very, now you can see here, this is a database. Now space allocated in last 30 minutes. See here. I mean, this is, we can ignore this part. Few important parts are here. These are some of the important things that you should know. Okay, close this. Now, performance overview. So guys, here Microsoft is providing an intelligent platform. This intelligent platform will scan. So internally, Microsoft is running a program internally. Internally, Microsoft is running a program. What exactly this program will do? This program is collecting the log. Whatever wherever Microsoft installed, this platform will collect the log of your database and server, and here they will give you recommendation. As of now, there's no active recommendation. The region, this is the new database. As of now, there's no recommendation, there's no log available. So here, in case you want to see the progress, you people have to wait for at least for 1 day. I mean, if I'm going to leave it tomorrow, I'll get some recommendation from Microsoft. If anything is not fair, if somewhere there's a low fall, Microsoft will give you some recommendation, as well as they will give you the steps that, hey, this is the problem with your database, and in case you want to resolve it, these are the steps. So this is a very important part. Now, as of now, in case you want to see the recommendation related to performance, so you can see here, recommendation, we analyzed your database and found your database was created recently. At this point of time, they don't have a recommendation. In real-time situation, if any query, suppose you have 500 procedures available, if 5, 10, 20, 30 queries are running very slow, they will give you that, hey, these are the type, these are the queries, those are taking time, or this is the query where queries, stuck in deadlock situation. So they will give you, but as of now, we don't have. The region is a completely new environment. In case you want to see what are the query in your database, if any query is taking too much memory, is running since long hours, that is also possible. So see here, in case you want to see the long running queries, you'll get here. If any query is consuming lots of memory, that also you'll get here. As of now, at this time there is no performance data available. Why not available? Taksir, why not performance available right now?
Because we are not doing input, output, and anything and all this thing.
Correct. Even there's nothing actually. We people have to write a query, and this query, if I'm going to use for at least for 24 hours, then they will scan and they will give you that, hey, this is the query that is running since long duration, or these are the resources, these are the query that is using more and more resources. But in this situation, there is no query. Okay, and whatever the problem they will identify, they're not going to identify problem, plus they will give you solution also. They will give you issue plus solution also. So this is one of the intelligent platform that is Microsoft is providing. Plus data encryption during the provisioning of my database. What I did, I implemented data encryption. Anyone have any idea what is the benefit of data encryption? So guys, data encryption will give you the advantage. If someone is going to steal your data, and later on they are planning to open it, it will not allow. The reason your data is encrypted. So whatever the data here we have, that is encrypted. Internally, your database is encrypted. Is what I can say. See here, vulnerable assessment. As of now, there's no data available. If you're going to use here they will give you some message like, hey, these are 5 risks. These are the this is the high priority risk that you people have to focus, and advanced protection we already have on. So if any cyber attack is going on, they will inform you. Here, what they will do, if anyone is trying to attack on your server, they will inform you. Because of the ATP, Advanced Threat Protection, for this Microsoft is charging 1,000 rupees extra. Whatever 15,000 they are charging, 15,000 plus 1,000 rupees extra against each database, means total 16,200 and few rupees.
Atul, for enabling the data encryption, again some price will be contributed, right?
No, it's a free. Let me show you.
Oh, okay.
SQL database encryption. So that is okay. That's a normal process. TDE. See here, under on-premise environment, this is the way how exactly people are encrypting. So whenever you're going to create, so here, create a master key in encryption and password encryption you can provide here. Subject encryption, and whenever you're going to create the database, you can use this encryption. This is the way exactly people are following under on-premise environment. In cloud environment, this is the automated system. This is a simple process. So against this query, they are not going to charge anything. And once this database is ready, once this database is ready, in case you want to use this database from your local machine, okay, see here, it's connected. Whatever you want, you can do it here. Performance wise, it will not give you higher performance. And the reason, whatever the charges Microsoft is charging, that is a little higher side. Frankly speaking, the charges are a little bit higher side. They are charging 15,000 rupees against 2 CPU, which is not a small amount. That is a big amount. 2 CPU will not be sufficient in real-time situation. In real-time situation, you have to go with a higher number of CPU. If you're going to increase the high number of CPU, suppose I'm planning to go with 8 CPU, so 15 multiplied by 4, 60,000 rupees per month you people have to pay, and 1,000 rupees extra plus 1,000 rupees one more for the data production. Total you people have to pay 62,000 rupees per month. Do you think it's a small amount? It's a big amount for one database. If you want to manage your system in a such a way that it should be available all the time, application and others also, then you have to pay 60,000 rupees few more times, maybe 1 or 2 more times. So it's more than 1 lakh rupees. That's why initially I have written here, this will be costly. And now again question is coming. Sometimes people are saying, hey, then why I should go with this? Why? If this is costly, is not giving you rich features, so do you think you should go? Answer is yes, you should go. If you are planning to go with the mobile application, remember here in this case, you need an admin, you need a database admin, you need a normal admin to monitor your servers and databases. But here you don't require any person to monitor. Everything is automated system. It will give you the lighter version, light feature, less feature, but whatever they are going to provide, if that is going to suit for your business, it's economical. In that condition, it will be economical. Here, if you are from United States, suppose you people are paying 7,000 rupees, $7,000 minimum. I'm saying, I mean that people are paying 8 to 12,000 rupees. Suppose $1,000 as a salary to your employee who are maintaining your servers. So 8,000 rupees plus 2,000 rupees, $2,000, $2,000. So minimum is 10, means you people have to pay 10 to 12. $10 to $12,000 per month on-premise environment. But if I'm talking about here, you people have to pay only how much? $2,000. So in some of the cases, this is very much economical. Here you don't need to pay salary to your employees. The reason anyone can handle it. But this is not going to fit everywhere. This is not going to fit everywhere. If you are working with a lighter application, if you are working with a small business solution, if you are going to work with a mobile application, then you can go with this one. This is going to help you a lot. Taksir, what is your recommendation? Do you think which one is better? The first
No,
or
no,
second?
pass.
AS is better. In 90% cases, people are claiming, oh, AS is better. Right? Depending on the situation to situation, sometimes this will be very much economical. Sometimes this will be very much economical. When it will be economical, if you people already have a team to manage your resources and you are looking for multiple database, then what you can do, you can go with a higher configuration of VM. On top of that, you can provision multiple database. But in other hand, if you don't want to hire employee to manage your database, you're applying to go with a lighter application, you're applying to go with mobile application, then you can go with this. This will be more economical. So sometimes this will be economical in your business situation, and sometimes this will be that you people have to decide what is your requirement. Guys, Surya, Harsha, Preeta, Ranjit, is it clear or not?
Clear, Atul.
Scripting wise, script wise, code wise, 100% same. Scripting wise means the way people are writing the code under on-premise is 100% same. Earlier, it was not 100% same. Up to 2016, it was supporting only 90 to 95% syntax. But nowadays, they're supporting almost 100% of code. So here, import-export operation is possible. Backup is possible. You want to create the copy, you want to restore, that is possible. One more thing I wanted to show you. Now, suppose this is my on-premise application. Suppose guys, this is one of my database under on-premise environment. Here, I have multiple tables available like order detail, order header, original price, permission, and so on. In case you people are planning to move any table, any data from on-premise to cloud computing, that is possible. So now, if you are planning to move from here to here, from on-premise to here, then what you have to do, same backup you can restore here. Same backup, whatever the backup you're going to take, you have to upload here and restore it. That is possible. But as I said, from here to here, restoration is not possible. But in case you want to transfer the data using import export wizard, that is possible. That I'm going to show you. Now you can see, guys, this is my database that I'm planning to export. Few tables of my database I'm planning to export. Now see here, my data source. Local data source is SQL Server. So here I have to go with the SQL Server. SQL. Okay. One second. Task. I'm going to export data, or if you are going to import from here, that is also possible. The second is very slow. Now, source and destination that we have to pick up. So source should be SQL Server. SQL Server. Now, SQL authentication user is SA. Password is, I think, Gulabo. Gulabo. Gulabo at lockdown. Yes. Now destination. Remember, guys, here this is a tricky point. You have to select the .NET framework. Here you have to select the .NET framework data provider for SQL Server. Only then it will be possible. Now here you have to provide your initial catalog, your server, and other detail. For example, you have to pass here your server detail. Now this is my database. Server is this. Now initial catalog, database name, sorry guys, Jaguar DB. Okay. Username, dev, password, India at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think it's enough. Now you want to copy all the one or multiple tables or views, or you want to write the query. Both options available. Suppose I'm planning to transfer one table or multiple table. Whatever the object you are planning to transfer, that select and transfer. Just wait for a minute. Very nice. What is this? It's a timeout. Okay, last time to a timeout is true. Now suppose I'm planning to transfer my order detail and order header. These two tables I'm planning to transfer. In case you want to preview, you can preview. In case you want to edit the mapping, that is also possible. 11,000. See here, data is being transferred. 28,000. Road transfer 33,000, 39, 44,000, 50, 56,000, 61,000, 67, 70, 78, 84, 89, 95,000, 1 lakh, 1 lakh and 15,000, 1 lakh and 29,000, 1.5 lakhs, 1.7 lakh data transfer. So see, this is the way you can transfer. So data transfer is possible, but whatever the backup I have taken under on-premise environment, same backup I cannot restore in Azure PaaS. I can restore, but in Azure PaaS, not in PaaS. Guys, is it easy or difficult, Taksi?
No, not difficult. Not
Not
difficult.
difficult.
Means you can manage, you can monitor, you can do each and everything with the help. Means it's very good. This is very good,
Correct.
really.
So it will give you good features. That will depend on you how you are going to use it. So that's why I said lots of people, in 90% cases, people are claiming, no, SQL infra is good. But the fact is, you can't say which one is good. That will depend
No,
on situation. Sometimes SQL PaaS will give you more advantage. It will be more economical. Sometimes infra will be more economical. That will depend on the situation to situation.
there is
There is no
one
set.
there is sorry Atul sir. There is one difference only. The SQL is on premises is a manual car, and the SQL in PaaS is an automatic car.
Correct. You're 100% right. Yeah, 100% right. So here everything is automated. Even if any query is running slow, they will inform you. If anyone is trying to attack, they will prevent your data. They will give you a nice chart. And in case you want to use this database to create the Power BI, Power Apps platform, that is also possible. See here, 7,44,920 raw data transfer. Okay. Now, same. I forget the name of the table. See here. This is the data that I transferred from on-prem to cloud. In cloud computer, I haven't created these tables. This was available under on-premise environment, but I migrated this data from on-prem to cloud computing. Hope it will be clear to all of you guys. One question. Do you guys want to learn the Power BI also?
Yes, Atul. Yes, Atul.
Yes. If yes, then what we can do tomorrow, we can have a session on Power BI. Earlier, I thought to start the automation, but if you people are ready to learn the Power BI, I can give 1 or 2 session on Power BI. How many of you already know what is Power BI, how to work, except Taksir, he know.
Yeah, we know, Atul. Because in our regular day-to-day operations, we use Power BI to prepare the graphs for our presentation.
So if all of you know, then there is no meaning. If
No,
some
Atul, might be
No,
what you
Atul.
are going to deliver. Might be what you are going to deliver. Might be we did
okay.
not went to that portion or something. You will give some tips also. So it's very good for me. I am also very new because I just started 1 month before.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
No problem. So let's have a session, 1 or 2 day session. That will depend on you people. If you feel you want more time, I can give you 2 days. Otherwise, 1 day on Power BI. Okay. So here I'm planning to conclude, and tomorrow we'll meet the same time. And if possible, we can. If possible, we can complete in 3 hours, or in 2 days we can complete. That will depend on tomorrow, how fast we are moving. If it will be easy for you guys, then okay. Then, okay, so guys, let's have a two session on Power BI tomorrow and next Saturday also. One more thing,
Sure, sir.
in case you people want the 3-day session, that is possible, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As of now, we have a 2-day session, Saturday and Sunday. If you people want to complete this room, we can have 3-day session, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I don't have any issue at all. That is Saturday, Sunday.
What about the others?
We are in shift at that time.
Friday difficult.
Okay, then
The same
leave
time
it.
on Friday also?
Yeah, same time. But people are not agreed, then okay, leave it. So let's have a session tomorrow on Power BI, then we will discuss in detail. Okay, bye everyone.
Sure.
Preetham, just call me.
Okay, Atul.
Okay.